Well, Stallone and Schwarzenegger have officially passed the torch to Mark Wahlberg.
I don't know if they officially did it, but he sure did come up and take it.
Although, you know, this is the thing. At least Schwarzenegger in his worst movies even knew that these were terrible and just were kind of campy. This one, Mark doesn't know it. He just doesn't understand how bad this movie is.
Yeah, I think we just... okay, this is going to sound really dumb on my part, but I think he's too smart to be in these kind of movies. I mean, this motherfucker is the Terminator in this movie. Everything is there for this kind of action hero. Like, he's invincible because he runs into a hell of bullets. He can take out a whole army of people, not just, 2 or 3, but a whole platoon.
With stuff he got from like a Walmart.
and a little bit of MacGyver thrown in there. He can take like sugar and salt water and make his own makeshift hospital.
Well, now don't say Terminator, because that gives people the impression that he's like a unbeatable cyborg. This is more like Arnold Schwarzenegger back when he made Commando and Eraser. He's just like a regular guy that can do impossible things. He's got an individual protective force field, so no bullets can ever hurt him. If he does get shot, it's really just a minor inconvenience. It's like, oh damn, now I got to get some gauze and some gunpowder. But it doesn't slow him down any.
Right, and he just kind of puts it off. He's like, oh, man, I really got to go get a pack of cigarettes or something first. I'll take care of this gunshot wound after that. Ooh, is that a McDonald's?
No, I don't. I can't even remember what the plot of this movie was. It's like the government is after him. Who is it? It's
This is the one thing I like about this movie is that the entire government is evil. Like, they're all evil. It's not one of those, like, there's one evil dude. No, they pretty much tell you, you're screwed. The whole government is like the Death Star, and they're all against you, and what are you doing? You can't fight the government. Yes, I can.
Well, at least we got one movie willing to tell the truth about that.
Yeah, right?
I know. It's like they made like Darth Vader was president or something.
That's something that you got to see when you watch this movie. Like the 3 guys who are evil, which is Ned Beatty and Danny Glover and that Russian guy who shows up and everything. These guys are evil. I mean, they sit around with snifters of vodka and big stogies by a fireplace, just going.
And anyone near them is evil. There's a scene where like the bartender kind of looks up at the camera. It's the bartender, and he's got this evil glowery face.
Yeah, he just pouring a drink, and he's like, eyes start glowing red.
And you cannot have an evil villain without an effeminate sidekick. You got to have that one gay henchman that goes along with him. And sure enough, they got that. They checked that off the list, too.
Yeah, they don't say that he's gay, but he should just give a smile and a wink every now and then, like, I'm evil, too.
Exactly. He's Dr. Smith from Lost in Space. Oh, dear, the pain.
And, of course, the hero's got the goofy sidekick as well, except they don't actually make him goofy. I mean, this is a guy, if there's ever a guy who looks like that all he should ever do in an acting role is act goofy and incompetent, it's this guy. But they actually make him like, oh, I'm very serious, and I'm instinctually good what I do because it's osmosis from Mark Wahlberg.
Well,
He's that macho.
I'm sure at some point somebody say like, hey, he is a trained FBI agent. He's not going to be a complete, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Yeah, but that's what this movie needed was that because it's so goddamn serious.
Oh, you're talking about that Mexican dude.
Yeah, he's like he's got one of those faces that you're just like, this is the dude who plays like the guy who's really kind of simple. I feel bad for the actor, right? But yeah, he doesn't look like this highly competent guy. In fact, early on in the film, you get the feeling he's not gonna be. But sure enough, when given the opportunity, he's a badass.
Yeah, it's like, how did he ever get into the FBI? Because he looked like he got shot with a tranquilizer gun. and he pulled the dart out before it all got in, he's kind of sleepy through the whole thing. But, so who was he taking on? Like, what faction of the government was he taking on?
As far as I can tell, it was some shadow arm of the government that went rogue, except they were very well connected. So they couldn't have been too much of a shadow organization.
Yeah, and it's funny because this shadow organization is run by a white man, a black man, and a Russian in a wheelchair.
And a nerd. Don't forget a nerd.
Oh, and a gay nerd. Yeah, and it's like these are people who have no power in real life. How did they ever get to run like some sort of Mason-like organization?
Because like James Watt actually is the guy at the very top. All we need is, we got a cripple. Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 guys who could walk into a bar and a joke would start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Ned Beatty, as he's the white man, I give it to him because he looks like an evil white dude. But
sure.
But the rest of them, I'm like, how'd you motherfuckers get into power?
Pretty much the moment you get jowls as an actor, all you get is evil white dudes. I'm waiting for Kathleen Turner to be a James Bond villain at this point.
So in this movie, man, it's like Mark Wahlberg, he gets hired by this shadow agency to plan out an assassination because they tell him like, well, we're not going to kill him, but we need you to plan it out so that we know how he's going to do it and catch him. Well, it's just a setup for him to be the fall guy for an actual assassination attempt.
Right, which is the dumbest plan I've heard since Red Eye and that Jodie Foster movie with the airplane. I mean, it's one of these like, guys, seriously, there could have been a much simpler way to do this than to reach all 20 years back to get a guy who is a sniper and say, we want you to plan to shoot the president, but not really do it so we can know how to catch the guy and then frame him to do it.
Not to mention, all he would have had to have done, and this is a guy who's paranoid already, so you're like, why didn't you do this? Was record everything going on around him, and before he goes out there that day, put it in like a safety deposit box or something, right? I mean, you're dealing with a government that you know has already fucked you once, right?
Right.
They're already corrupt and shady, and you never know what's really going on. You don't really trust them in this situation. You just go, once you're like, okay, I'll do it, you're like, woo, whatever, here. You can take naked pictures of me. I know they won't end up on the internet.
Well, that's what another thing it comes back to. It's like they never give him any reason to say yes. He just does it.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, in the last reel of the film, it's like, why'd you do it? Oh, well, you know, they pushed my buttons.
They killed my dog.
No, they didn't.
Funny, yeah, they killed my dog. I'm doing this for Sparky. But you know, the thing that got me in this movie, and they didn't follow through with it as much as I thought they would, but he goes back to his best friend's girlfriend's house. Now, the best friend is dead, so he goes back to I guess it's the best friend's wife.
Yeah,
he doesn't know who to turn to, so he goes to the best friend's wife, and the best friend's dead already. And in like less than 24 hours, he's already starting to make out with this chick.
Oh yeah, well, you knew that. I mean, look at her, wouldn't you?
Well, hell, for that matter, look at Mark Wahlberg. I mean, that dude is stacked. He's like, comes in, he's like, what's up, baby? I mean, he's just like walks into a bar. There's a guy you see walk into a bar. You know he's not leaving by himself, right? This guy could walk into, if his best friend was still alive, the girl would be like, I'm sorry, honey, but I gotta fuck that.
And the guy he'd be like you. Well, you know he ain't leaving alone. So.
I don't blame you there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love the fact that he like gets her to help him out on his plan, and his plan includes her dressing up like a slut.
I know, right? You're like, wow, he's like he knows we're watching.
But it's like, this is like in Washington. I know that they get a lot of hookers in Washington. We know that.
Right.
But they don't walk the streets like this. He doesn't want to call attention to himself, but yet he puts this chick in like a mini skirt with her ass is sticking halfway out and a blonde wig. It's like, come on, man. This is the dumbest fucking movie I've ever seen. This should not have the budget that it has. This should have half the budget and be on heavy rotation on HBO late at night.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, let me say this about this movie. It's never boring. And I give it high props for that. I mean, we point out a lot of stupid things because it really is that stupid. But the movie moves, and it's like a roller coaster. You know, if you turn your brain off, you can enjoy it all the way through.
You know, I'm not trying to be a snob here. I'm not. I mean, it's a terrible movie. But, you know, that's the thing. We always talk about how we like dumb action films. And this is one of those movies where I would call y'all up and be like, man, did y'all see that crazy-ass Mark Wahlberg movie on HBO last night? I mean, it can be enjoyable if you, like you say, if you just kind of scoop your brain out your skull.
Even so, like I said, I think the best thing about those type of movies were at least they're self-aware, and this one isn't at all. I mean, what would have made this movie great is if in the final sequence, you know, what you know is going to happen, the moment you see Ned Beatty and the evil guy, you know it's going to happen, where basically it's Mark Wahlberg stalking them all in their house. I mean, they should have totally thrown a banjo into the soundtrack at that point. Because you know Ned Beatty is fucked.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's
I know you heard that. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, not again.
Paddle faster, I hear banjos.
Ned Beatty, boy. If y'all don't know who he is, he's the guy that got raped by a hillbilly in Deliverance, and that dude ain't gonna ever live that squeal like a pig thing down.
He won't. You know that. You know when he dies, that's gonna be part of his epitaph.
It's going to be written on his tombstone.
Yeah, squeal like a pig.
He's made 100 movies since then, and that's what he's gonna be known for.
Yeah, poor bastard.